Because 81 years ago, Jefferson Wolverton came into the world. And on that note,
Uh-oh.
Birthday. Come on, you can do it. It's Jefferson's birthday.
Happy birthday, Jefferson.
Joyeux anniversaire Jefferson.
Happy birthday, Jefferson.
Happy birthday, Jefferson.
Happy birthday, Jefferson. Hope you get to do all your favorite things.
Happy birthday to my friend Jefferson.
Wishing you a very happy birthday from the tip of my tail to the end of my nose. And may all your dreams come true.
Breaking news. It's Jefferson's birthday, again? How is that even possible? Didn't we just celebrate this last year? Stay tuned for a rundown on all the birthday party festivities.
Happy birthday, my friend Jefferson.
Happy birthday, Jefferson.
Happy birthday, Jefferson.
Can you help me find Jefferson's party?
Happy birthday, Jefferson.
Happy birthday, Jefferson.
Wait, what? You can talk?
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, in the famous words of Darwin Shaw, when we celebrated his 90th birthday here at a restaurant, he stood up after we'd eaten and said, "You know, I feel very sad and dismayed when I think that nearly half of my life is now over." He was 90 years old, yep.
well, hopefully
So,
it's just a quarter. So, I didn't record that. Dang, 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 dang.
oh,
So
that's all right, yeah.
I'm going to hit
Hey,
record
but
now.
I record.
so shall we kind of get on the road here with, I was thinking, uh-oh, darn it, just a second. They're calling me on the walkie-talkie. One second.
Does anybody want to, he's going to, we're going to read, of course, the email that he sent out. And we, of course, want to hear about his time for India. And maybe on the back end, we can do any sort of birthday toast. I mean, nothing will beat last year where we went on and on for 80 years. And how's that sound to everybody? Jeff,
Was that?
nothing. They're all set for you.
Uh-huh. Hey, so you want to, Jacima, could you display that thing? And then I was thinking was wondering if Tony could read it because he's very good. If he's still there.
I'm here, but I would rather listen.
Okay,
Mhm.
let's see. Now I can't see who's there. How about Bob Yeager?
Yeah.
Okay. The topic, managing, oh, here we go. I think I've got it. Okay. I can see it better from your email, so I'm going to go to that. The topic, micromanaging our life. Help. Dear folks of Baba, I returned from India greatly renewed after spending so much time inwardly with Baba. especially in sitting just outside his tomb. While there, I thought and visualized all of you, sending love through the internet. I know we are going deeper into Baba's love and being as we continue going through Darwin's effort and grace, mining it for hints about the inner journey. After weeks, I am really looking forward to seeing you all in his love. The micromanaging of our lives, with all the struggles, dreams, fears, ambitions, successes, and failures that this entails, can all be carried out more effortlessly and efficiently and simply by the love and support that Baba will happily and freely give to us. What is an eternal burden to us can be given over to Baba, so that our day unfolds more and more in his way and not in our way, which continually seems to require so much decision making, so much guesswork, and so much ongoing anxiety. Baba would like to take over our lives for us, but we don't have a clear understanding of how to let him. The mandali, Baba's intimate ones who lived with him, were forever urging us to give everything to him. But how is this to be done? Is there a method or practice for turning our spare moments throughout the day over to Baba? The mandali were embodiments of various practical and touching ways of doing this. In my many hours of being with them and asking countless questions, here are some of the most helpful practices they shared in gradually turning our day over to Baba. The mandali brought home to us that Baba's love is continuously flowing to us every moment through our soul, and from our soul into our mind and heart, and eventually into our day. Unfortunately, this river of Baba's love, which begins so pure and pristine at its source, has to pass through our mind with its interminable swirl of thoughts and cauldron of beliefs of right and wrong, good and bad, spiritual and unspiritual. And it also has to pass through our heart with all its congestion of emotions, desires, and feelings. This pure and pristine river, as it flows into our day, unfortunately picks up the residue and sometimes even the pollution of the mind and heart along the way, which can create a massive congestion in the moment we find ourselves in. This pristine river is then sometimes experienced as a murky stream or a stagnant bog, and yet occasionally, if we are fortunate to be open to Baba's grace, a fresh flow of pure water. All that we do that is not inspired directly by love leaves an impressional residue in us. Is there something we can do in the moment to encourage this pure and pristine river to flow through us without contamination? Yes, according to the mandali. Whatever we are feeling in the moment, anxious, happy, angry, lustful, greedy, we can let it flow in an energetic stream toward Baba before us, or however you might describe this giving. When we lose this flow of love and instead feel our negative side in the moment, we can let that flow toward Baba. He is right here before us, as always, face to face. He is not just in some transcendent state far above and beyond us. As Erich would say, we have to kid ourselves into believing he is right before us, and one day we will experience that this had been true all along. Baba's being is impressionless, as Erich and Darwin Shaw have said, and all our impressions that we give to him, good, bad, and ugly, are instantly dissolved in his being, but only one layer at a time. When the flow of our love becomes congested in the good, bad, and ugly of our minds and hearts, we can give these less desirable impressions energetically to Baba. Over time, the obstructions and the congestion they cause begin to break up and loosen due to the force of giving them to Baba in the moment. Often taking decades, our life begins to flow more and more with Baba's love, and our day starts to unfold in his way, and we are relieved little by little of the burden of having to micromanage our life. In addition to these efforts, any remembrance of Baba and the taking of his name in our spare moments is continually dissolving automatically our massive accumulation of past impressions, samskaras. As we give Baba the strangers in our heart, we make more room for him to live in us. Our life, as Darwin has said, eventually becomes a constant state of giving to Baba. If this is all we did in our spare moments throughout the day, that would be enough to experience a very fulfilling life. We constantly forget that Baba is always right before us, personally waiting for us to see the sun of his shining personality through the clouds of our impressions and give ourselves to him. Prophet Muhammad once said, "Between you and me, there are 49 veils. Between me and you, there are no veils." Every moment is a golden opportunity to give what we are thinking and feeling to Baba, our beloved, who receives whatever we give him, good, bad, and ugly, as a most precious gift. As Darwin used to say, we all would like to give Baba a fresh bouquet of roses, yet even our thorns are like roses to him. It is our act of giving that means the world to Baba. Erich once said to me, "It is a greater burden to Baba to withhold anything from him than to throw on him the worst of yourself." He encouraged us to lose ourselves wholeheartedly in the activities of our day, and when we come out of that absorption, to remember Baba. That is when we can give whatever we are thinking and feeling in that moment to him. The glorious overall theme of Darwin's book, Effort and Grace, is about giving ourselves little by little to Baba, which culminates in our complete surrender, in which he takes over the reins of our life. As it says in the Bible, "Not I, but Christ liveth in me." This is the supreme destiny of everyone. What is your experience of giving things to Baba? In his love, Jeff. P.S. We are continuing after 6 weeks on page 52.
Hey, anything to say to that, or shall we plunge into where we left off?
Are you not going to tell more about your India story?
Okay. Like I say, I really encourage people to go any place where Baba has been, because every place is like a gold mine of divine impressions. And, just sitting outside the tomb there, very soon, without any effort, your mind and thoughts kind of dissolve. Your emotions and feelings and desires, they kind of go by the wayside. And I would find myself just taken into the deepest part of me, at least the deepest part that I was able to get to, and I would find Baba right there and Mara's love right there, and you could just sit there for hours. I mean, it's amazing that it's just served up on a golden platter, The same thing here at the center and any of the Baba places, and then also in people's own homes. When I go into the homes of Baba people, there is that, the Baba's atmosphere. I mean, it dissolves, So anyway, I do encourage you. We had such a great camaraderie too. The nice thing about coming to these places here too is that you meet so many people and you connect, because you don't have to, often in the world, you have to give the edited version of yourself. No one knows, otherwise they kind of roll their eyes and kind of think you're from another planet. But here you can come and, I'll just say there was one guy from Vancouver, near Vancouver, British Columbia, and he'd been a Baba lover for about 30 years. And all of his friends, they just kind of thought he was a little bit kooky, And he came here for the first time in the fall, and he was down there by the original kitchen, and he said to me, "Wow, I can talk to everybody here." It was so darling. I mean, he was so innocent, but I mean, he could he was just thrilled because he had no one to talk to about, the deeper things in himself. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's not to say his friends weren't loving and everything, but that side of himself was kind of, there's no way he could really convey that, but he had a great time here. So, but yeah, let's see if there's anything. Do you have any questions?
Did you have any themes that came up on your trip to India, Jeff?
Well, like I say, there was such a camaraderie of people from all different countries, Israel, Germany, England, India, and everything. And we all just hung out. And I was thinking, this has got to be the new humanity. I mean, it's not some transcendent state. We're all enjoying each other. There's no hierarchy. There are no cliques. Everybody is kind of there, happy to meet everybody and be with them. So it was really, that's something beautiful. The same thing happens here too, where you meet people and you share and you do things together, and there isn't there is only Baba in the mix. There isn't some hierarchy or all that kind of stuff or cliques going on, and so you get to enjoy one another without all of the extra sort of things thrown in, all that. Yeah. But that was one thing, was the camaraderie that we have the potential to do and enjoy one another's company. And let's see if there's anything. I mean, there is a place within us that, this is the benefit of being outside the tomb, that it's kind of below the heart at a deeper level, and in that place, when I would go there, and I kind of effortlessly, it wasn't like I was doing anything. In that place, there's no outside. Everything is inside. There's no separation. Me and Baba, me and life, me and this person, me and that person. They all get kind of merged. And it's valuable I find it valuable to get an experience of that, and then try to do it here in the world, back in life. But Darwin used to talk about eventually everything starts to merge, this whole life and everything. Baba, all these things he used the word merging into kind of a oneness, so that there isn't all the separation from everything. There's a line from Rumi: if the door of your soul were to open for an instant, you would see the heart of every existent thing as your intimate friend. So that there isn't this outside, what the heck is that over there? They're all part of one unity, you might say. But anyway, I don't know if there's anything, but let's, shall we go to the book, unless there's any questions?
You were there 6 weeks?
5 weeks, yeah.
5 weeks. It seemed, what did you do on a daily basis?
Oh man, you don't have enough time there's one lady who comes to the center here, I might have shared this with you. She's come from Portland, and over the years, and one of her recent trips, one of her friends said, "What do you do at that place?" Referring to the center here. She said, "You don't have to do a thing. It takes you all day to do it, and you barely have time to get it done, and you go to bed exhausted." You don't have to do a thing, and yet you just can't get it all done. I experience, and you're not doing anything. Something is going on, and I feel I still didn't get it done. I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. But something at an inner level Baba is doing. And so it's like there's no boredom or anything like that, sitting around, well, what should I do? It's all very, everything's happening within. and just to bring your awareness to it. And Bob is doing a lot from his side. Yeah.
So, Christina?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. Glad you
Hey.
had a wonderful time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I missed you, and I was in Myrtle Beach. I missed you.
Oh, dang.
I know, but glad you had a great time. I was just curious. I was in India of 2018, and we could still sit in the samadhi. Is that a relatively new
That happened with the
thing?
pandemic
Okay.
and never
And
returned to how we used to sit there for hours in the tomb.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, one of my buddies stayed the entire day in the tomb, never left.
Easy to
From
do.
after morning arti all the way till evening arti.
Yeah.
People did things that crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
But yeah, you can go in and bow down. But here's what people do: they go in and bow down, and you can spend a little time there, and then people come out and they get in the back of the line again, and just kind of just keep going back through. Sometimes 5 and 6 times you see same people going through again.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we have there? I see Cindy Andriazzi. That's great. And we got Tony Paternetti, his great insights. So, what do you think? Let's go for it. Patty, you feel like reading? If Jaysima can bring that up.
Sure.
Is this where we left off?
I thought we were giving it all to Baba, but maybe we're not. Oh.
I think this seems to be page 52, Jeff.
Yeah. What's on the scroll it a little bit more. Let's see what that is there. Oh, dressing our soul. Wow. Let's go on.
In my book, I have on page 52, giving everything to Baba. Is this the big book or the little book?
This is PDF.
No, it's 52 in the book.
But it doesn't say the same thing.
Yeah, let's see. Backtrack a little bit here. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, we haven't done this yet. Keep going. Yeah. Eradicating our worries. We haven't got
Yeah, we're in chapter 9.
Chapter 9. Okay,
Yes.
The beginning of chapter 9, if I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah. It's a different pagination.
Okay.
Ooh, wow.
There it is. Giving
Yeah.
Giving our
everything to Baba. You pass by a
Yeah, I passed by.
Yes.
Good.
So go down. Yeah. Go down. There it is.
Yeah.
We just passed it.
Other way.
Slow down. Go back.
Other way,
No, go-
Jaysima, other
No,
way.
Jaysima,
Yeah.
the other way.
Keep going, slow.
Go back up now. Go slowly up.
Yes.
Up. One more.
A little bit more.
A little more. And there you are.
There you are. Okay.
Hey, Baba.
Okay, Patty.
Yeah. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, wonderful. I'm just going to read from the book, Josima, because it's right in front of me. Okay, give everything to Baba. There are many ways of deconditioning the subconscious, where most of our impressions are stored. The different methods work for different people or at different times in our lives. There is no formula or doctrine to say, do this or you'll get there. In discussions about the ways of the master, generalizing makes of more accessible explanations. But part of the master's role is to make us let go of generalizations. At the same time, he does not give us many hints about things we can do to cooperate with his help.
He does give us.
Oh, he does. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This reminds me of a time in New York City in 1956 at the Delmonico Hotel. There were quite a few people there, and Baba would have various people, families, groups, and individuals come to a suite of rooms to spend quite quiet time and sometimes to hear messages or explanations. On one of these occasions, Baba said to my family and me, a theme he was to repeat several times while in America, quote, "One must give everything to Baba if you really love him. He is in everything and everyone. You belong to him. So keep nothing to yourself. Give it all to Baba and be free. Give your whole self to Baba. Your pain and pleasure is Baba's pleasure. Give it all to Baba. What you feel, Baba feels. It is Baba in you, doing you, and feeling in you. Baba is the whole universe. Love Baba with all your heart." Moreover, as I recall, Baba added, "This, quote, will please Baba," quote. For me, this was the icing on the cake. So thinking that over throughout the years and putting it into practice, I found this message from Baba to be ever more and more practical. I concluded that Baba meant everything. Our moods, problems, and complexes, our worry syndromes, our sense of gain and loss, and more of the ego, of course. I discovered that we really can give everything to him and be free inwardly. Jai Baba.
Beautiful. Yeah. You know, going back to that quote, Baba, Erich is interpreting Baba's board, and rather than use me, Baba's saying, give everything to me. But since Erich is interpreting, he would say, give everything to Baba.
Right.
So sometimes that same quote will be, you'll see it as me and I rather than Baba, just to let you know. But that's due to the fact that Erich is the one who's reading it out, and he doesn't want people to think he is the one. Yeah. I mean, is there, just while we're here at this moment, is there anything people can say about how you give things to Baba in the course of your day? Anybody feel comfortable about sharing that?
I do.
Yeah, we got from California.
Yeah, I was when I read your letter, there were a few things that struck me that I don't know that it is that different from what I have come to do as far as either me giving things to Baba or Baba taking things from me. It seems to work out pretty much the same. But
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's, different people, I think, will have different ways of accomplishing this surrender to Baba of our limitations and desires. But some of the things I was thinking was giving Baba in the moment something, like if you would mention decision making, and sometimes the decisions crop up, and there's a conflict of desires and maybe values that are perplexing, and you don't know what to do because you want this, but then again you don't want to do this, and they conflict, and it's very disturbing. And what I found to avoid those kinds of situations, because Baba is sharing it, and I don't want to bug him about it, I like to think of things in advance. I like to make decisions way in advance, which is a matter of developing regimens of how I live my day-to-day routine. And Baba mentioned the day-to-day routine as a place where we can really connect with Baba. not so much in, in special situations or special places or anything like that, but in our day-to-day routine, there's ample scope for us to not worry, be happy. Those are challenging things, but I think this is where the bulk of things happen. For instance, when I was thinking of routine, I thought of the baseball players, like a shortstop when they're practicing, ready to accomplish something. They basically have somebody hit them ground balls, and the people that have been playing for a dozen years in the professional leagues, they do that before every inning. They get some ground balls hit. Some ground balls are routine, some fly balls are routine, but you have to be really good at the routine stuff. If you're not good at the routine stuff, you'll never be that good at the difficult times when it really calls for something very creative. So I'm thinking that those by concentrating on that, I can create a life of habits, and most of the things that we do are out of habits. Those are also, I think, I've heard. I think Don Stevens said, "Sanskaras are habits. There are habits. We have a habit of wanting this or wanting that, or definitely don't want that, and stuff like that." So, if I have come up with a routine that suits me, I don't have to think so much about what am I going to do or anything like that. I just flow through life. I pretty much know what I'm going to do and what I'm going to avoid, and things like that. And if different kinds of circumstances arise, then I can be there with Baba and make an adjustment. It's like a simple adjustment instead of going through all kinds of contortions about trying to figure out the conflict that I've entered into. Anyhow, that's a little bit of what I was thinking about. I'll let people, if anybody would like to comment on that, or if they feel free to let me know how what you do is different, or what you think of that idea.
We got it out on the floor. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Virginia?
Hey everyone. So yeah, I had a couple things that came up, thinking about giving it all to Baba. One of the things is just a really practical example in my life of I do work with folks who are nearing death or folks who are actively dying. And for a long time after I would work, over the next days, hours, days, sometimes even weeks, I would just continue to think about those people and kind of feel that there was something unfinished or that I was holding on to them. And it was tying up my emotions and my energy somehow. And in the last several months, I've started a practice most days at the end of a workday of going to the chapel in our hospital and just sitting there with Baba and remembering the folks who have passed in the last few days and imagining kind of walking with them, because I feel like I walk with them some after they die, but walking with them until I can hand them to Baba and seeing them go and seeing them be joyful and seeing Baba joyfully receive them. And it's such a joy for me. And then also feels like it's allowing me to release that energy so that I'm not carrying it with me. And so I'm clearer in my days and I'm not as tangled and I'm not as distracted. And that's how it feels giving everything to Baba, but particularly these experiences have felt like very visual and very vivid. And then also in the last few months, I've been feeling for years that Baba was asking me to release my evening drink of alcohol that I was using to calm down in the evenings. And I knew that was something Baba had said wasn't all that great for us. And he did that in the last few months. And all of a sudden, I just have no desire, no taste, and all of my emotions are calmer. The anxiety that would build up during the day that I would try to use the alcohol to calm in the end of the day it's just not really there as much anymore, and everything is feeling on an even keel. So to Baba for that.
Yeah. It's funny. I remember many years ago, I would like have a little wine at the end of the day, and I realized, boy, at one point, kind of like you, that my body is kind of waiting for it, and it was kind of developed a need for it. And boy, I just thought, yikes, yeah, it kind of creeps up on you. So I just dropped the whole thing, you know. But but that practice of that you do with those people, I'm sure they are grateful for your bringing them before you and with Baba. I mean, that's a lovely practice. It's taking an everyday job and doing it in a much deeper way, beyond the job description, you might say.
I'll call on myself.
Okay.
So, in the past week alone, every single person who is really in like our tightest group have been going through very dramatic and traumatic things in their lives. And there's not a thing that really we can do about it actively to fix it, which is something that I think my mind goes to right away, wanting to just solve the issues, but they're not mine to solve. And so we have been actively giving it to Baba and talking about that because we're going through this together. And it has allowed us to be present because otherwise these things can really take you down a rabbit's hole where you feel the unfairness of something or you want to just get mad at the person who created the problem or whatever. But none of that is my fight. So we can only show support to the people that are going through this. But for our own sense of sanity, we give it to Baba.
Yeah. Beautiful. There's a new book out called Let Them. I don't know if you've read it, but it's a bestseller, and it is about not getting so entangled in our reactions to others and work at our response to the situation. It's really, I mean, I think very practical and full of all sorts of examples that I found helpful. Yeah. There's a line that from the Course in Miracles that I like. You're never upset for the reason you think.
Mm.
And the reason we are upset, it says, is that we are taken out of the fullness of this moment. And rather than getting back to the fullness of this moment, we start having to investigate, why did I get pulled out of there, or why did that person? And we spend a whole lot of time trying to investigate that when we could get back to the present moment. That's basically the gist. Hey, Candy, I saw Candy at...
Yeah, I was going to say something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that Baba is so kind to us, so wonderful that he always says, well, if you can't do that, then do that. And if you can't do that, then do that. You know, how he does that, you know. Well, if you can't love me, then remember me. Can't remember me, say my name. You know, these things. So he also has said, in the morning when you wake up, you know, give everything to me, basically. Say, Baba, I entrust to you all my thoughts, all the thoughts I will think, both good and bad, all the actions I will do, good and bad, all the words I will speak, both good and bad. And the same thing at night before you go to bed. Baba, you've all heard that, I imagine. Baba, I now entrust to you everything that I have thought today, both good and bad. Everything that I have said today, both good and bad. Everything that I have done today, all my actions, both good and bad. So I find this, when all else fails, I think that is a good thing to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't lose. I mean, that when all else, if you weren't able to give it to him in the moment during the day, and even if you were, I think that it's a good thing. And I myself, I go further with that. I give it even more things. I give everything I can think of. I give to him everything that I can, you know, everything I saw, touched, smell, ate, all my strengths, my weaknesses, everything. So, you know, uh, that's how I give it to Barbara. Like I said, when I can in the moment do it, I do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
sometimes you're standing in line in a grocery store and you got nothing to do. You can do something with that. So it's not just a empty moment. Yeah.
saying Barbara's name, whenever you
Yeah.
think of it, but that's a way to spend your time. Like you said, spending like when you're standing in line or whatever, whenever it comes to your head. I always, suddenly I'll start saying Barbara's name, but I always think that's Barbara remembering me. But either way, it's a good thing. But when you have something emotional or your anger or something and you want to give it to Barbara, I think it's a great thing if you can manage to do that at the time. But how do you do it? Do you say, Baba, I give this to you? Or do you energetically give it to him? Or do you say, Baba, take this from me? So I don't know. Whatever comes to your mind, I guess. But anyway, that's what I'm saying is if you can't do that, there's always the morning and the evening before you go to bed.
Yeah. No, that's it. It's kind of a beautiful thing. It gets better and better. Okay.
We got Bob Yeager.
Yeah, Candy, you used the word energetically, and it reminded me of something that I read in. I've been reading the printed version of Lord May Hear, the first couple of volumes, and I think it was somewhere in volume 2 or 3. I don't remember. I'd have to find it, where Baba told someone when these things come up in you, when basically he was talking about these sanskaras of the lower self, the lower desires, and all of this. And Baba told this person to shout, to say loud, "Get out! Go to Baba!" I thought, I like that. He might have even used the word hell. Get the hell out! Go to Baba! I thought that's energy. I like that. I can so occasionally instead of I do it often silently and think of Baba and try to give it to him from my heart. But when it's really something that is a deep-seated thing, I say it out loud, and sometimes I say it loudly out loud. So I find that to be somewhat helpful. So, thank you.
Yeah. And
That sounds good.
And like I say, that means the world to Baba. He doesn't care what form it comes in. Just dump it at his doorstep, Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next section. Diane, you want to choose people or shall I? Okay. Let's see. Virginia, do you want to read that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Know what you are giving. We cannot give Baba everything consciously. However, we cannot give Baba everything consciously, however, until we first become conscious of what we are trying to give him. We can give only to the extent that we are aware. So we must become deeply aware of those specific, particular sanskaric knots lodged in our subconscious minds. Many of us are closed to what is going on at the subconscious level, and hence are unaware of the sanskaras stored there. Thus, some work on our part is required, work that is done primarily through the heart center, where we become aware of the sanskaras as desires and impulses. This work of becoming aware of our sanskaras and giving them to Baba is an action of the heart, not the mind. Sometimes it helps to visualize and itemize things to give to him. This changes our mood and redirects the current of our energies. We should keep giving all these things to him and become intimate with him in the sense of consciously being a companion with him. When we begin to give everything to Baba with sincerity and integrity of purpose, we gradually become more and more conscious of what we are giving him. We usually have no problem becoming aware of our positive sanskaras and giving those to Baba, but we often tend to anesthetize ourselves against the awareness of the negative sanskaras rooted in our subconscious, which hold us back and keep us tied to illusion. These sanskaras include negative tendencies, weaknesses, blocks, desires, complexes, and faults, and they take such forms as condemnation, anger, greed, and lust. This is not to say that we always have to know the precise name of each sanskara we give to Baba. For example, an internal block we simply cannot understand may come to the surface, and we might experience it as vague, troubling energy. In that case, we consciously acknowledge the energy of the unnamed block and then give it to Baba, expressing willingness to have it removed. When we feel Baba's grace move the block away, we need to let it go and be wiped out completely. He will do this. It is part of his working with us.
Okay, anything to say to that? I mean, that's a very, very concise view of this internal process. And he used to say, you can't heal what you don't feel. The deeper the feeling, the deeper the healing. So Darwin was very, very focused on trying to feel these things and deeply enough. And what I gathered was to kind of feel them and see all the scenes that bring up, say, this jealousy and everything, so that you really have it activated in you, and then imagine it giving it energetically to Baba. That was kind of the method that we did. It's a proactive, it can be a proactive method rather than just imagine that it'll just kind of wash away on its own, Anyone say anything to that? I mean, I think that was fairly straightforward. Shall we move on to the next? Hey,
I got
Josh?
something. I have
Oh,
something.
yeah.
You want me to say something?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. A few years ago, I developed an additional prayer that I offer up to Baba during my little morning arti session, and it has something to do with what we're talking about here. The prayer goes, "Beloved Baba, in your time and in your way, be stripping away the veils of ignorance that prevent my seeing you as you really are." And then additionally, I added in, and instill in me the courage to pass through those stripping processes. Now, that doesn't have anything to do with anything specific, but it's just an open invitation for Baba to do what he knows how to do way better than I could ever do it. I can help if he has something for me to, in my participation in giving something up or letting something go. But I just like to give it to the master, who knows the great ways to do it and when I'm ready to be able to be successful doing it. I don't think he wants me to, to think of something that I may be, maybe in my subconscious, and then go about trying to give it up when I'm not really ready to give it up easily and be frustrated and fail. So
Yeah.
that's how I've approached it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, other people, they kind of dig into the deep interior and see if they can stir up some stuff and give it to Bob. I mean, it's a different method.
Yep.
Let's see what Joshua, from Australia, those people, they're pretty mature. They don't have too many problems or anything.
Not so sure about that. I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, let me know if I cut out. But yeah, I like to hear what you're saying, Ron, and I think bouncing off that, yeah, with this stuff, what I feel is needed in myself is courage all the time. When you were talking about asking for courage in that, because when I go in and feel something, it's actually really scary to just like sit in the core feeling rather than eat chocolate or something like that. So yeah, I'm also hearing if anyone has any takes on how they do that. I guess really, the way I feel it is sort of just taking Barbara's name and then maybe doing some art or something like that, or trying to get creative with it and trying to, I don't know, dive inside myself. But yeah, I'd be interested in hearing about that courage. Yeah.
Yeah, anyone to respond to what Josh says, well, or we'll take whatever the other things, but yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of daring. I mean, and Darwin talks about that too, to face these things and try to bring them out. But we'll open it up. There are other people, and then we'll see if we come back to that.
Hey, Jeff, it's Marta. I'm butting
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Did you ever tell a story about either Bao or Erich saying to Alaba or somebody that was very sick and was suffering, have courage, just have courage? Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, I mean, and also Baba said to Mara, "Be brave." When right toward the end when he was about to drop his body. But yeah,
Wow.
tackling these things. I mean, you all probably know that Don Stevens, who he had a very intimate relationship with Baba, and he was one of the people who could just say anything to Baba and just show up and didn't have to Baba gave him a great freedom, but there were two things in his life that he didn't want Baba to enter into: his finances and the sex life. And so Baba, very politely never got in there and probed around until he got into financial trouble, and then he invited Baba in to help him. So, I mean, that's kind of Baba's very, I mean, my sense of it too, he doesn't coerce, he waits there and until we invite him in. He doesn't just kind of barge in and redecorate our living room. Okay.
Well, I was just going to say one thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
Well,
I was just going to, sorry. Wait.
We'll come back to you after Janet and Christina. Yeah.
Yes. This is a little bit in response to what Josh said, but I had an interesting experience actually just this morning. I was having some very uncomfortable feelings that come up every now and again, sometimes more now and again than I'd like. Anyway, I have this, I mean, when I give it to Baba, a lot of times how I feel is that I want to push it away to him, push it to Baba. And so this morning when I was giving it to Baba, something different happened. And that is that I softened. Instead of pushing it away, my body and the physical dimension of the disc feeling that I don't like, my body, I mean, and I didn't do it, but I had given it to Bob, and I want to just throw it like a baton, pass it on. But that was not what happened. And it was the first time for me that I'd experienced it this way, and that my body softened and it melted through feeling it and softening, somewhat like Darwin says that you've got to feel it. Yeah, so I just it was just a new experience for me, and it seems like it sort of pertains to what Josh said as well.
Yeah,
That
beautiful.
it melted in the softening. My whole being softened. My chest, my heart, somehow, and it wasn't the taking away of pushing it away. It was the taking away of having it just melt
Yeah,
through Baba's touch.
taking the tension kind of dissolved, the tension and the whole thing.
The discomfort of it.
Yeah,
I mean, I just really don't like this feeling even one little bit.
yeah,
I just have to
yeah.
tell you, and to have Baba, I'm like, wow, what happened there? And it was a whole different concept to me, for me, about what giving it to Baba means.
Yeah, beautiful. Wow. Yeah,
Go to
I like that.
Christine. Sorry, Christina?
Yeah, hi. Jeff, when you were I guess working with Darwin, um, could you give us maybe just like a small example of how it went? Do you know what I mean? Like,
How the giving went, or
yeah, yeah, how he would prompt you to give.
you know, I mean, he would put stuff on the table, and kind of a take it or leave it attitude. So we'd say, "Oh, let me try this thing out and that thing." He wasn't there, kind of saying, "Hey, are you guys doing this? Are you giving things to Baba?" His whole being was I mean, he talked about it. Whatever came into him went to Baba. He didn't investigate it, and you know what I mean. It flowed. So we were in the presence of that kind of energy. So it kind of inspired you yourself, just to, you know, let not hold on to things so much, but let them flow toward Baba. But of course, I mean, I've given that figure of a conveyor belt. At one end is the warehouse of our, you know, all the stuff in our heart, and at the other end, the conveyor belt is Baba. And these boxes start coming, good and bad boxes and everything. And we would kind of, Darwin just let them go right on by. He might look at the address of the box, but he would let it just go and dump into Baba's lap. Whereas I would be taking boxes off of the thing. Hey, let me look at this stuff. And so I would get a backlog of things. But I got better over time. I didn't investigate everything so I didn't get so egotistically caught up in my hang-ups and everything. I just kind of gave them away. I think, why is it there? And it was, I didn't, you know, I just didn't get into that so much. Why did I get hurt by that person? You know, all that kind of stuff. I kind of I didn't. I let them kind of go by on the conveyor belt and drop into Baba's lap, so to speak. But like I say, being in that presence of someone whose energy is giving to Baba, he didn't even have to say anything about it. You just kind of picked up that spirit. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Let's go to Candy and then we'll go to Robert O.
Well, there was only one thing, but now there's two after what Jeff said. The first thing I was going to say was that, I'm glad to hear that other people have those uncomfortable feelings too, because I thought I was the only one. But such uncomfortable feelings that I have to say Baba's name, like with white knuckles.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Seriously, like, and it happens to me usually before I'm going to bed. When I'm going to bed, when I'm laying in bed wanting to fall asleep, some of the most uncomfortable feelings come over me that are so almost frightening. And all I can do is just say Baba's name like mad. And that, of course, helps. That completely helps. It's a lifeline. So there's that. The other thing was what you were saying, Jeff, about the conveyor belt, letting the things go by like that. It reminds me of now. I'm not somebody who hears Baba's voice all the time. Okay, so but I have on occasion, a few times in my life, heard what could only have been Baba's voice because it wasn't me. And what he said was, and he was in a similar situation. And what he said, what I heard was, you look too much at the details. I play the long game. You are mine.
Beautiful.
And I never forgot that. It was powerful. It just came, it was like all I can say. It interrupted my thoughts and it was not me. So you look too much at the details. I play the long game. You are mine, as we all are his. So yeah. So
Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, and it kind of goes with that image. I got so far into the details of my hangups.
yes.
You
Exactly.
know,
Well, that's what it was.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
it was about. That's what it
I
was
had to,
about.
yeah, just put the box back on the conveyor belt. Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly what it was about, Jeff.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Roberto.
Hey everybody, Jay Baba. Yeah, I wanted to respond to Jeff talk about art or writing. I'm a painter, and sometimes I don't always, but I remember it was one painting I was doing. I was just finishing it up, and I just was like giving these last touches to Baba, and it just felt so good. It was some pain that I was going through, and yesterday another painting I was doing was just like, and I don't know where it comes from. I just sometimes do a shape or a color and I feel pain there, and I don't know where it's from, what it's about, but I'm just still giving. I'm giving it to the painting. I don't always think consciously Baba, but I'm giving it, and of course I'm giving it to Baba. I also do something called two-way prayer. I may have mentioned that before. I don't know, but two-way prayer is a wonderful tool that I use where I talk to Baba. Sometimes I just refer to Baba as God, and I just say, "Please take this from me. What is your direction for me today, God, Baba? What do you want from me? Um, please take my fear and my doubt and my insecurity and but I really appreciate the focus tonight about just giving whatever I've got to Baba. You just give it. I don't. It doesn't have. I don't have to. It's perfectly fine to give my weaknesses and my fear and my craziness, whatever it is. It's Baba wants that, so yeah. It's not going to hurt him. He's impressionless, right?
Yeah. As Darwin said, it makes more room for Baba to live in us until eventually he's kind of living our life more and more, and we're living it a little less and less. So when you kind of get to that stage, then eventually life just unfolds. We're not in there micromanaging everything. It's there's enough outflow that it unfolds on its own in a loving way. I mean that's the culmination of all
You,
this
you mean
little.
you mean let go of control?
Was that?
You mean let go of control?
Yeah, unfortunately, that thing that we like so much. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
So yesterday, Charles and Christopher had a program on Baba Zoom about their new book about Nadine Tolstoy. And one of the things, not having to do with the book, that Charles shared is that a few years ago, Baba took away worry from him.
Wow.
And it totally changed. To me, it sounded like the ultimate in surrender, so that when he is now being challenged with his health, instead of worrying or, going down that rabbit hole that so many people do in reaction to a hard diagnosis, he said, this is what Baba wants. So I'm going to do my best. I'm paraphrasing now, but
Yeah.
and that to me was, oh my, what a gift to be able to flow through life instead of trying to swim upstream.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, and coming from Charles, I mean, he's, so embedded. I mean, to hear these things that people have had to resort to at different times is very helpful. There are a lot of the Baba people who, as they're passing, they kind of let go, and that letting go, there's a great freedom in everything, even if they're kind of moving toward the latter days of their life, So, you know what? I think we're out of time here.
Oh.
We've.
So do we have any birthday toasts that anybody feels inclined? You've all been to the winery and drunk a celebration, a toast?
Can we just sing happy birthday together?
Sure. Start with it. Go for it, Virginia.
Happy birthday
Birthday
to
to
you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Happy
Lou.
birthday to you.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like a plate of spaghetti. Everything's interwoven. Hey, I ran across a quote that I thought I would read here at the end. This is something that Baba said to Gandhi when he was in England. He went by ship with Gandhi, happened to be on the same ship in 1931. And then while there, this was he would consult Baba about, because he was there on a diplomatic mission, to deal with
Partition.
yeah, the partition and everything. So I mean, even though, or no, just the rule of the British. But anyway, so this is what Baba said to Gandhi. Let me just. He said, Baba saying to him, people weep at the sight of me and find themselves loving me even when they say they don't love God. And I got to go to the next page. It is because I am completely free of desires and am full of only love from head to foot. This inspires all to love me, Forgetting their differences of caste, creed, and color, they love me. You cannot do this because you have desires, whether they be large or small. Side by side, you have the ego, which does not draw people to you. Desires kill love. I am the very image of love and only love. Love from head to toe. I am nothing except love. Besides, from eternity, I am full of bliss and enjoy it infinitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I had. Well, let's see here. So, Goer, do you have a final quote, and then we'll have a few moments of silence, and then we have to get.
Yes, I sure do, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is an old favorite, and I think it works beautifully with everything that we've been discussing tonight. And it's entitled Leave All to Me. When everything goes wrong, the mind becomes helpless and it has to rely entirely on the heart. These are the moments when you resign to my will and so rely solely on my help. When you leave all to me, I dare not, care not, and you are relieved from the predicament. Jai Baba.
Yeah, read that once again. That's a
Yeah,
very,
it's an
very
old favorite.
valuable quote.
Yes, it is. When everything goes wrong, the mind becomes helpless and it has to rely entirely on the heart. These are the moments when you resign to my will and so rely solely on my help. When you leave all to me, I dare not, care not, and you are relieved from the predicament. Jai Baba.
Yes.
Jai
Yeah.
Baba, that's lovely.
And the
Thank you.
moment, and we don't like those moments,
Yeah.
and yet they are so valuable for growing toward Baba.
Mhm.
We don't like to be helpless. Okay, let's have a few moments of silence. Jai Baba. Payam, is your mom around?
Jai Baba.
Is your
She
mom around?
was. I don't know what happened to her. I thought.
Yes,
Oh,
Oh,
there she
she's
is.
there.
yes,
We need.
I'm here. Yes. Are you
Okay, we
waiting?
need you.
Okay. I'm here at your service, at Baba's service. Okay. So we go Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Jai Baba.
Jai
Thank you.
Baba.
Thank
Jai
you. Jai
Baba.
Baba. Jai Baba.
Okay. Well, thank you for all the greeting, the greetings and everything. Um, for birthday and everything. Anything, any loose change here or any?
Yeah, I want to send a heart out for healing to Marta.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes. I'm
Every-
so happy to hear her voice. I was wondering how she's doing. Marta, speak up.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
We-
With all your love, I'm getting better and better quickly. So thank you so much for remembering me. It really touches me on a very deep level. And you know, I have to say, as we have listened to Charles, Charles says, when they tell you, oh, you're really looking good, Jeff, you're really looking good,
Yeah.
means you're aging, but you're really looking good. Happy
Yeah, that
birthday, Jeff.
you know the death knell has tolled.
Happy birthday, Jeff.
Yeah.
I
Thank
know.
you. And yeah. So go on and have a nice week,
Mhm.
and we'll see what next week brings. Yeah, so yeah, I see Anthony's there, and like I say, Cynthia and Deborah. I didn't see her. Peggy and Tina. Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad you've come, but don't hesitate to chime in. It's and share, especially the examples from your own life, because I think it's very helpful to others to hear how you deal with the ticklish situations and problems in life. We all benefit, I would say. Yeah. All right.
Good night.
It was
Thank
it
you.
was
Thank
this.
you, Jeff. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Yeah,
Jeff.
Thank
Sabine.
you, Jai Baba.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
and welcome
Jeff.
back.
Jai
Yeah, Jay
Baba.
Baba,
Jay
and
Baba.
Thank
Jai
you,
Baba.
Jeff.
it was an unreal experience. Okay. Jai Baba.
Jai
Much
Baba.
love.
Jai Baba,
Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba,
Good
Jai
night,
Baba,
everyone.
Baba,
Good night,
and
Baba.
Jai.
Jai Baba.
Hey,
Thank
Baba.
you all.
Baba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.